Man, it's hot in here. This baby's
You get
recording.
your AC unit, it's about $300 right there in the Home Depot.
You know what's funny is that I just don't find it an appealing investment, man. I don't know why.
It's not an appealing investment, but last time that we were all there, that thing got hot.
Fuck, I'm sweating like a pig right now. Okay.
You need to lose that weight.
You have some nerve to be saying that, man. You fat bastard. Ay. I knew it was going to get some of this. Enter full screen, automatically turn off. Okay, come on. Just record. Just tell me to record. Cloud recording. Okay, there we go. Some settings. Okay, recording. And let's do that. Turn on. Record gallery view. Yes, and yes to everything. And then give me something. All right. Show me something, baby. All right, so let's go back here. And let's close that. And show me that recording. All right, stop recording, which means that we are recording. Okay, so for training purposes, this call may be recorded. Okay, so let's go for it. I'm going to start off, and so, let's start by talking a little bit about you, Mr. Mario Sanchez. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, and well, let me start you off with this question, and you can elaborate however you wish. What is it that you value most in life?
Family and friends.
Family and friends. And what is it about, when you say family and friends, I mean, what give me your criteria. What defines a friend that's almost like family to you?
Family and friends for me, the closest to me is like people that are good in the bad times with you. You can call for support. You can help them when you have questions, advices, anything that's related to gain more experience. Like, have any situation that I'm not comfortable or not to my experience. You always call that. You grab the phone and you call that person. Hey, what would I do in this situation? Help me out, And that person be like, you know what? This is what I would do. So now you have a second opinion, and that can count out as like a very, very good friend. But also those that you hang out, your friends that you hang out like in the weekends. You go and take a couple drinks. You hang out on birthdays. You go out with them on field trips. You invite them here, you invite them there. That is actually considered more like family than friends.
It sounds like to me, like for you, family is an extended definition that goes beyond your immediate, wife and children, but it's the people that you want to be around the most, correct? More or less?
Correct. I always feel that family is really, it creates a lot of values in your family. And that family creates more values when you put it with another family. So you could, like kind of like help from each other. Family, it doesn't come in a handbook and say like, hey, this is the way the family should handle themselves, how communicate, how behave, how none of that.
So it almost sounds like for you, family are the people you want your children around, right? Like when you feel your children are safe around them, then you've got family, regardless of blood related or not. Okay, cool. And this appreciation for family, as the top value that you hold, because not everybody gives that answer on the first try, and where do you think your appreciation for folks that you feel your kids are safe around, where did that come from? Did it come from having kids, or did you have that understanding beforehand?
It's something that I had not had when when I was growing up. You know, I think we had it among our. I think maybe those values were put in me before I gained conscious of my life, and I was not aware of it. But since I started, like we had a really hard time, and my sisters and I were always together, bad times, good times, and we might have disagreements, but we always there. We always gathered. We always talk to each other, but it's not like, oh, we're 100% together. That, and some people will say like, well, you guys don't talk to each other. Like, no, she's my sister. I love her. Like, she's my sister, and they're gonna be there. The same thing with my mom, my dad. They're gonna be there, but they're my biological family. I feel uh, like when I go up north to visit family, I don't mind going on visit them all the way over there because I want my kids to be hanging out with my family up there. So I don't see it like, why not, and or go visit that family or friend, before they die, and people say like, well, I'm not going to wait for them to die to go visit them. I want to go visit while they're alive so we can talk to each other. And I think that's family. That's when you go visit them, not expecting anything from them, just to go visit.
And out of your family,
That's family.
blood brother related or not, who do you think has been the greatest influence on you?
It's a lot of people. I really have to think a lot of people because like I said,
Who's the biggest influence you've had?
There's two major influence in my life. One was my teacher. They switched my life completely.
Oh yeah? Tell me
And
more. Tell me more
I was
about that.
in my ninth grade. He exposed me to digital art, and one of my mentors, which is being Mr. Lemos. You know, Mr. Lemos has been a great influence on me and how to see a different world. It was like, my teacher was a really good influence on myself. A lot of the teachers, but I consider him more influence because you know he recognized who I was at that moment in my life, and he came and he even gave me a nickname at the classroom. Uh,
What was
I
that?
was a stubborn kid. He called me. He's like, "Hey, come here, Cholo," and I was like, and he came to the ground, like he said, like, "Look, I was just in your same situation. Um, he talked to me about it, how he switched his life, how he did all these things, and he became a teacher."
When you call them, sorry, but for our audience that may not be so well informed, when you call the cholo, what's a cholo?
It's a gangster. If you can see, my thing is a Hispanic gangster. Uh, During the 90s, it was popular among Hispanic kids or do other things, and I was classified as that. Typical Latino, walking in LA County, bull-headed guy wearing white shirt, khaki pants. Even if you're not or you are, you still classify as that.
Mm.
Um,
So
every
when he said he saw who you were, he saw you as somebody that had that potential to be a gangster, or what
No,
was?
he just saw me because like he saw who I was hanging out, all my friends in school, and he approached me and he said like, "Hey, dude, what you doing?" Like, well, doing nothing, in school. Some other guys don't do nothing in school. And he's
You were
like,
one of
"Hey,
those guys?
yeah, yeah." He said like, "Come over. I want you to help me out, build some flyers, some stuff and thing, and help us out." So when I got there, I kind of felt welcome, you know, kind of felt welcome in the classroom. I kind of felt welcome with the group that he was working because he had like he had like different type of groups. He had different type of groups. Like he had some guys that like rock, some were skaters, some were athletes. And I was like in the middle of like everything. I love sports and everything. That's what I do. That's kind of kept me out. But like I said, he was the really guy who switched me to the technology because like at the moment I was trying to find myself in the ninth grade. After
Mhm.
coming out of middle school, I barely touched some of the computers, and so he really he embraced me. He took me into a couple conference for digital printing back then, to see the market, to see what it was, and that kind of opened my eye that from printing shirts, you know, imagine I like 15 years old printing shirts, making some money, making some art, connections here, connections there. So he was the guy who really put me into the technology path,
Mm.
using the computers and everything. He said like, there's nothing right here in LA. So my recommendation is to you is to go up to Silicon Valley and get some training up there up north. But that was in the ninth grade. Imagine I had to graduate like another four more years to go.
So I'm gonna stay with the story that you're sharing with now because that sounds like a life changing event. You know,
That's my time. That
this
was my
guy
time.
just out of nowhere, he made an observation. Were you in his class already, or he just saw you hanging out with the wrong crowd and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
caught it?
yeah. She just saw me.
So you
It's
weren't
like,
even in his class.
yeah, I was in his class.
Oh,
I
you
was
were.
in his class, and he's like, his class is one thing, and the graphic arts program was like after school.
I see. I see.
They didn't offer graphic arts during class time.
Did you ever find out why he reached out to you and not
He saw my art
other?
talent. I used to draw a lot
Uh,
during the classes. He's on my art because I used to draw a lot manually, and he's like, he saw potential maybe in the digital area that he might need help, and there's not that many people that with the qualifications at that age, and he just wanted to help me out,
yeah. Okay,
and
yeah. Yeah.
that was a
And
change
so,
time.
had he not reached out to you, what do you think your trajectory would have been?
I was still like were attracted to computers since I was in middle school, but I didn't think I would have saw um like some of the major things that they would provide right here in our area at that time, where it was the Gutenberg festival. The
Uh-huh.
guy who created print, and a little bit of the story that what they went through. They when they used to get their fingers and burn them alive.
So you
That
think you
was
still would
like
have,
a change for me because like when it was an eye opening for me for what all the artists had to go through before art.
so okay, so you think that even if he had not reached out, you still would have found a way towards computers.
Yes,
That there was
to
something about
technology. I was being attracted to technology. Being a thinker,
it.
I was
Hmm.
trying to find out how that is done. Um, why is it done like that?
Hmm.
And who built it and why it was built. you know.
So you've always been inquisitive, and curious about.
Yes, at my early age, my dad used to show me like how to do oil change on cars, change brakes. When the cars were not that digitalized.
Mhm.
All those things I'm able to do. And a lot of the kids don't even know how to check your oil at the moment. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
at,
So
at, at 11 years old, I was already changing the oil in my cars, the spark plugs. Change the even the timing belt on the cars.
so it
So
sounds like you were inquisitive, but you were also self-sufficient, or that
that,
seemed like that was part of your goal, right? To
yeah,
be able to
yeah,
do
I was learning.
right, and this go always learn. So you learned even if you weren't in school. You weren't a book.
My
Weren't
thing
person.
was learning. Yeah,
Gotcha.
learn.
Well, then let's segue based on that passion that you have for learning. You know, not that it has to be the response here, but I got a feeling there'll be some of that in these questions. So the next set of questions we're going to talk about they're actually phrases, right? So I'm going to give you the beginning of the phrase, you complete it, okay, and you go as short or as long as you want to, and we'll see where it takes, us, right? So the first statement is, I am the happiest when,
I think I'm the happiest person when I'm being productive and learning.
And how do you define productive?
Productive meaning is like we actually doing something that is not just benefiting me but everybody else at the same time.
Okay, so, and what would be some examples of that in your daily life where you would find yourself feeling productive?
Think about it. I had lived all my life right here in Inglewood,
Mhm.
and this neighborhood was the most dangerous neighborhood in LA. Um,
It was or was not? Englewood.
and my thing was like, let's just help each other so we don't live in a violent world.
Ah, okay.
How? By helping each other. Like stop fighting. Let's just compete. Let's compete in other area.
So productivity is doing something to make the world a better, safer place.
That is correct.
Gotcha, gotcha.
A safe
And
place.
good. Next phrase. To me, having a great quality of life means
Not worry about going outside, getting shot in the neighborhood, man. That's not good color of life. Not worry about you getting out of your house and people breaking in your house. Um, be able to grab my family and take a long vacation, a month vacation, and just go anywhere in the world that you want to go. Be able to be the person to make your own decisions and where your destiny is going to take you. Then, somebody telling you you have to come and work from 8 to 5, otherwise you're gonna get fired, and you got nowhere else to go.
so it sounds like learning, safety, independence
That
are
is correct.
some things that you hold true to the core. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is lost one of my child or my wife. That's my biggest fear. I
Okay.
think I experienced some of it a little bit, but I will lose part of me
Yeah.
if anything like that happens.
It can be rough, man. Like I haven't experienced it, but I too have like felt like, oh man, she in a few years she's gonna be gone, my wife, right? And so now she got more energy than I do, and I'm not saying
Right, I agree, but like I said, we're not the owners of our destiny. So
that, man.
we could be here today and gone tomorrow.
But it sure seems like you can live as long as you want. I mean, she's doing everything contrary to what the doctor orders, and she seems to get better with that instead of getting worse. So it's
And I agree.
a whole other discussion. But anyways, moving on. Uh, Given that you've spoken about what makes you the happiest, what you define as a great quality of life, what your biggest fears are, let's talk about your current state. How do you on a scale, right? How do you feel about, in terms of those three things? So,
You're breaking up.
yeah, no, I know. Let's see.
I
Can you hear
couldn't
me
hear.
now? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
okay now.
Okay, so what I was saying is, so given that you've shared your definitions of what happiness is to you, what a great quality of life means to you, what your biggest fear is, I said let's take a measure because this is sort of like the before and after, right? So today we're recording the before. Uh, are you happy today?
I'm happy today. I'm happy. I'm spending more time with my kids, with my family, um, and able to travel, get to know more people and interact with new families, and show 'em some of our values that we have as a family and our experience that we have gone through these past 30 years, and making them a better person
Gotcha.
and pursue their happiness.
On a scale from 1 to 5, so 1 is poor, bad, crappy, 5 is excellent, and then there's everything in between.
I think
How would you grade your quality of life today?
average. I can't say it's the best
Would you give it a
because
3 or a 4 or a 5?
I give it between a 3.5 and a 4.
Okay.
I think it will be good if it will be 4. Um, but I can't say five because I think by reaching five, it would just not be me. It would be everybody else who's with me, and I consider myself as family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I consider my 3.5 and 4 because I happen with myself. I know the other people around me are not the same as happy as me, so that kind of creates like a worry, you know. Even though I don't have to worry about it, it worries me because I feel like I'm reaching this level of happiness, but they're not happy. So when you get with them and you have this nice vibe and this good enthusiasm, and you can see them that they just drag you out. I think that's one of the things that I want to work on. So to get this, I think when everybody be in the same pace, I think I will be maybe a 4 or 5, 4.5. You know.
Good point. That leads right into the next part of this question, which is, so it's what you need in order to have a better quality of life. If what you need is for those that surround you to also be at that
Correct.
4 or 5 level, what are the things that you need to work or improve in your life so that that becomes a reality?
Correct.
No, so what are the things that you think you need to work on?
Oh, well, one of the first things that I always say is like we got financially we always have to help our family members
Mm-hmm.
and friends, so your circle becomes more happier, you know. And I think some of them are struggling maybe economically, morally, um, uh, even health wise. Um, things they like we can fix just by maybe attending the doctor, you know,
Okay.
maybe just by giving some advice. Maybe some kids are rebels, you know, just like I was.
Mm-hmm.
And the experience that I have, I share with them. Maybe they will like them or they're not. It's up to them, you know. I just give my experience. Maybe that will help them, and what I went through and how I was able to achieve the goals, and how was I able to manage them and help them make better decisions, not run their lives, but make the better maybe better choices and better decisions for them.
So, so one, it sounds like, uh, and I'm asking this question because I don't want people to misunderstand that you're not saying that money buys happiness,
That is
right?
not true. Yes,
You're
correct.
saying more like financial security or financial stability allows you to think about being happy, right?
That is
Otherwise,
correct.
right? Okay, so and so it sounds like those around you need some of that, right? That's where they're stuck. They can't get into thinking about happiness because they're thinking about how to put food on the table.
That and those are actually I think those are no not those are worries that they have.
Right.
How they're gonna put food in the table.
How they
And
gonna
that's
pay
what
off that debt,
people,
right?
that's what most of the people think. Like, why do I worry? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? And people getting all these worries that stress them out. Instead of saying like, you know what? If I have 5 tortillas tomorrow and I eat a taco, hey, you know what? As long as I'm happy and my family is happy, we're all good. I don't have to eat the biggest steak, you know, that is out there, the bigger lobster. I think
Is that
uh,
do you think that's part of what they do, like not spend money wisely? Some of the
um,
people that are stuck or that they're unable to be happy because they're stuck financially. Is some of that what
they
you're
make
observing?
they make bad decisions. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like they make my decisions and like purchasing necessary things they don't need. Um, they go get themselves in debt. They they buy unnecessary stuff for their kids. A pair of shoes that cost you $30 is the same pair of shoes that will cost you 150, $200. They're gonna take you the same place. When you value things that their money is it's not, it doesn't make you you know, I learned a couple of things through some of the training. The decisions where you spend the money um, can affect the rest of your life. And some people will pretend to be rich, but if you go and open their fridge, it's empty. And some people will look with worst clothes that you can ever see them, but they have money packed up in the bank like you can even imagine, because they value things that the other don't. You know, one thing is pretend to value money, and the other one know that the money is there, but you value other things, like I said, your family, friends, the time that you join with them, the time that you get to spend with them. If you say like, how would you invest your money? I would invest it in my community, because by helping everybody, everybody wins.
Mm-hmm. So the original question was, what do you need to do to improve? What do you need to improve in your life and the things you do so that you can help those around you? And so, we're talking at least a part of this.
Like
we need funding, but do we give funding? How do we disseminate that? How do we distribute that funding to people who make bad decisions, like you were describing? What do we do? Because we give them more money, they just make more bad decisions.
I agree, and that's why, like we always say, I learned this from a military guy. One who showed me a lot of technology. He said, Mario, if you give somebody a fish, they will eat for that day. But if you show them how to fish, they will eat for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. So we gotta show these people how to fish, how to go out there, get moving, get them together. And for that, they need to get back to school. But how are they going to be able to go back to school when they work endless times? How are they going to be able to, if they never save any money? They don't invest. They don't, it's all these things that they have to go through. But I could go, endless with all the things that they have to do. But what is going to drive them to get there? What is their passion
to
move them?
So do you think it can be as simple as just showing them? I mean, this is the American nightmare, right? So many Americans spend more than they earn. So many make unwise decisions, and it almost feels sometimes like you have the predatory credit companies and the banks that take advantage of it, right? They understand the appetite for buying stuff, right? For material acquisition. So you're saying,
companies, but our thing is educating our community to make the right decision. The problem is choice. They have to make the right choices. But how are you gonna make them the right choices when they don't have the right value? So you gotta show people the right value so they can make the right choices.
Okay, because for a second there, I thought you were going in a different direction, which I kind of liked, which was, let's not try to fight the appetite for consumption. Because
I'm not.
No, but because even if you show them how to what is worth value and what is worth investing in, it sounds from the other part that you were saying, let's not try to get them to take what little they earn and try to get them to think about spending it right, because the temptation to consume is so large that you're not going to win that battle. But we can teach them how to earn more.
That is correct. And that's why I said the last decision that they have to make is like, how they going to make more if they want to spend the type of life they want to live. It's like, if you're going to live in $1 budget, then you got to get that $1 budget. And if you're going to live in $100 budget, you're going to live in $100 budget, but you have to know how to earn those $100. And then that's so on and so on. Maybe people will like $1 million, right? $1 million. Right. How are you going to live in $1 million? And what are you going to go with those $1 million? Because tomorrow those $1 million are going to be gone. How are you going to make those $1 million worth? Not only that, but multiply that money to create wealth. People People don't understand about investment. You know, they
Right.
don't understand it takes time to invest. They don't understand about the value of saving, the value of not waste. But like I said, that's another battle. That's economics. You know, that's something that they have to go through. They have to
All right, good.
experience to make right decisions.
So then, all right. So okay. So here we are, role models, right, or wanting to be role models, right, for others. Uh, you can answer this question now if you want to, or we can save it for another time. So we have to show, like you said, we have to show our family, our immediate circle, how to do some of this. I know, like when I first started learning about investing for retirement, I went to my parents, and I came home from college for like a summer, and like into the third day, I started asking them because I was thinking my parents are getting up there; they're going to be retiring soon. I wonder if they even have these kinds of conversations. I asked my parents, what's your plan for retirement? It was that simple. It was, what's your plan for retirement? Where are you going to live? How are you going to pay for stuff? I wasn't even able to get to the conversation about retirement plans because it was near a near violent reaction, right? Like, oh, you're just trying to get rid of us. You're trying to put us in the old folks home. Uh, you don't want to spend, money on us, that kind of thing. I said, you know what? Forget it. Forget I brought it up. I'm not gonna
Boy, you
get
got
into it.
that one. That mine was kind of more simple though.
Uh,
I think I came to my mom and I told her, I said, like, what are you gonna do? So she's like, look, we're buying a home just in case anything happens, to me, and a life insurance. So my home is my savings. Um, Although it took us a while to get that done, and but she understands a little bit more about savings. I
7% too.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let's see if this thing comes back. Are you back?
Yeah. I couldn't
So it
hear it.
sounds like your mom actually had a plan
She always
already.
had a plan. She actually has investments outside of the United States. So
So
she actually has more investments in money saved.
so did she teach you a little bit, or you just learned
She
separately?
always say, like, you know what, you gotta save somewhere some money all the time. Um, I definitely didn't learn that from my dad though.
Oh, is your dad the big spender?
Duh, man, he went through.
Been through hell and
And,
back, huh?
I didn't really get the chance to, talk to him about financial stuff because at the end, he was an accountant,
What?
and
So
he was
he
an,
knew about money.
he knew about money, but just like, money comes, money goes. Oh, Carlos, you breaking up, bro. Can't hear you. Can't see you, can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Oh, you hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I didn't say anything because I knew we were like disconnected for a second there. All right, so you were saying your dad was an accountant, so he knew about money, he understood money, but he still had a hard time controlling
My
his.
dad worked for one of the biggest companies in Central America, which it was a brewery with um with uh, uh he had benefits, retirement plans, all that stuff.
Stuff that's unheard of in a lot of
Yeah,
Central American countries.
unheard of it here. Yeah, unheard of it here. And he used to work in that company, and he decided to change his career to be a maintenance guy right here on Mover. Just imagine, why
Wow.
would you do that? You know.
Yeah.
But now he went back to Guatemala, and now he's a lawyer. He's a judge.
No
So,
kidding.
so I, and one day I came, and I think that was the hardest word I ever told my dad. But it's kind of like telling him, like I said, like, Dad, you want me to look up to you now, and you came from being almost a lawyer to be working as a maintenance. Nothing wrong with maintenance because maintenance is a good job. He said, you want me to look up to you? If that's what you want me to do.
What do you say?
And there was no words. He always would have get mad because every time we would have talked about it, I would have grilled his behind for doing the wrong decisions.
All right,
And
well,
he, like, oh, my son doesn't love me. It's like, you know, I'm not the kid no more, you know, that I used to be before. Um, you, you know, through difficult times with my mom, you know, when he left our family, and he was there for us, not all the time, but you know, it was like a broken family. But you know, one day he trying to put discipline on me on the way I dress, and then I told him, Dad, dude, like I'm already 18 years old. You haven't been in my life since I was 9. What right gives you to come and tell me what to wear, what to do, when I'm an independent man?
mm-hmm.
He never told me anything after that day.
Wow. And
And
pretty
that's
soon
when
after,
I realized that, you know, um, I'm independent man. You know, I could go work. I didn't have the age of work at the age of 14, 15, 16, but I was
yeah.
still making my money. But, you know, so when you stand up for yourself, it's just like, look, because all parents are never right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but when you decide to step up and say, like, look, um, I'm going to be responsible for myself. I'm going to be accountable for things that I do and how I'm going to live my life from this point. Not expecting anything from them. That's when you become independent.
Mm.
And
Okay.
independency is like, maybe you're not right, maybe you're not wrong, but what gives them the right to say, like, well, what they did was right? My life is my life, and I always have said, like, that shouldn't be judged by nobody, nor judge anybody. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody can do whatever they want with their life, but those are the things that I learned since that age. That you have to make the tough choices are yours to make,
Mm.
and it can lead you one way or another. Um, but the choice is always yours. It's mine, yours to make, whatever you decide. So if you want to be poor, be poor. You want to be rich, you got to be rich. You want to work with people, you work with people. You want to be in the whatever you want to do is you. It's just like, make sure whatever you do keeps you happy. And right now, like I said, I'm happy, man. I
Good.
like to do this thing.
Good. So here, because you said just the right things to segue into the next question. But what I'd like to do is stop recording and then start
Okay.
another recording because this one's gone for a while now. Well,
Especially when somebody stop, like, because
no,
it's
but
internet sucks.
this is because what?
The internet sucks.
I know the internet sucks, not my connection, but the internet.
That's why I say it's not you. It's the internet that provides it.
All right, so I'm gonna disconnect. I'll see you in a few minutes,
All
or
right.
no, in about 30 seconds.
All right.